course, we are going to be wrapping up our special CSI week this morning with a look behind the scenes of the hit show. Now, last night's episode of CSI opened with a bang. Hundreds of them, in fact, in a massive police shootout. Not only did it lead to an awkward moment for CSI star George Eads, but co-star Paul Guilfoyle told us it took an emotional toll on his character, Captain Jim Brass.
There's a lot of gunfire, there's a lot of chasing the bad guys and stunts, and a lot of the stuff you see in the feature film, really, that we worked very hard and got lucky, really, to be able to get the production value out of it. It looks great. I think what is kind of interesting to me about this is that it has to be a kind of an accountability on the part of the police.
Guys, hang tight. I'm going to get some rides to take you down to the station, okay? I want to get your statements.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Good, good.
The challenge for me particularly was to, people you work with maybe, lost their lives in their job.
The next thing I remember is Bill. Bill went down.
While you're describing them, trying to be, scientific and precise, oftentimes you'll find an emotional unraveling that combines with it, and that's was the kind of double event that was going on, certainly from my character.
He was just a kid.
Are they saying what I think they're saying? La policía le dieron a esos muchachos en la espalda.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that I had asked for my character to be bilingual. I don't speak fluent Spanish. I took it in college, but I got to the set and realized that my dialogue was in Spanish. And so I had a crash course in my Spanish 101.
¿Usted vio algo? ¿De lo que pasó?
People screaming at me and trying to remember phonetically my Spanish. So we'll see if I pulled it off. De la que pasó.
Wow. Which I think means it's happened in the past? It's done?
Que la pasó?
No idea.
I'm not sure.
All right, we'll have to look into that.
And you know what? I had 5 years of Spanish.
I had 7. All right, well, next week.
Did you really?
Yeah, aren't my teachers proud? Now, next week, George Eads is going to take us behind the scenes for part 2 of last night's episode. And he talks about, there were real police officers on the scene guarding them, as celebrities, and it was pretty heavy. You'll hear him talk about that.
Wow, strange.
Last night's episode of CSI ended with a startling cliffhanger. Captain Jim Brass is facing his own life-or-death struggle after being shot by a suspect at close range. Finding out your character might die is not the best news an actor can get, even an actor as seasoned as Paul Guilfoyle.
Either I walk out of here right now, or she dies.
Nobody's gonna die, Willie. Not you, not her, not me, not Sammy, not anyone.
You sure about that?
Oh, yeah.
A very brave Jim Brass negotiated with an armed suspect on last night's CSI, but the standoff ended with Brass in the line of fire. So now we know you've been shot. Your life hangs in the balance.
That's right.
When did you, as an actor, find out your life is going to hang in the balance?
Well, I tend to read the scripts as soon as they come out. And
They didn't give you a call first?
Well, you know what, they did. I got a call from the producer, but I being the kind of guy, I read the scripts very quickly. I like to find out what's going on, just to see what's happening. And so I had read the scripts, but I got a very good call from the producer saying, we want you to know that, you're going to be shot.
But before you got that call, you had already read the script. Did you call your agent and say, what is this?
No, because I'm not that kind of guy. I don't really live in that sort of fear, Julie. I mean, I've been an actor for so long. I've had about 100 jobs. So I have, all confidence that I'd get another job if this one ended.
This isn't the first time that Paul Guilfoyle has played a man who's been shot. He says each time the character's reaction was the same.
You really can't believe it, that somebody shot you and that it's happening to you, that you're... Because there's a certain... I guess the word that most people say when they're shot isn't mom or Julie, or it's no.
You're lying.
Hey, you got the gun. I wouldn't lie to you.
If this really is the end of Jim Brass, Paul Guilfoyle says the character might have no one to blame but himself.
I think the good thing about the character that I like about him is that he operates from a place of kind of honesty, of authenticity and honesty. He sometimes thinks other people do the same thing. A few times he's wrong, like all of us.
Look up. You see that little dome above your head? Give it a wave. It's me in the surveillance room watching you lie to me.
Maybe Warwick could take a lesson from Brass about trust. We learned last night that his lack of trust is hurting his new marriage.
Don't even bother.
You want to know what's up, huh? What's really up?
I could see what's up.
You can't see a damn thing.
So we're arguing. So it is affecting his job because he goes back to work and he's thinking about what his wife is doing. Yeah, go out and hang out with your friends. And that friend Rob of yours, just do what you got to do. Fine. I'll be here working and looking at dead bodies. You know. So it does affect his work. And it's something that's real. It does affect people in law enforcement a great deal. They take their job home with them to their marriage. Where a lot of people in law enforcement have a lot of problems at home. It's a hard job to do. So we're trying to reflect that.
Now, there's one more cliffhanger in store for you CSI fans, and that's coming up in next week's season finale. Thursday's episode of CSI Crime Scene Investigation put a spotlight on a terrible crime, child molestation. CSI cast members told us it was a difficult story, but important to do.
Are you familiar with the names Lucas Hansen or Jason Crowley? The kids from the Amber Alert? No, sir. I'm a convicted pedophile. That would be a violation of my parole.
I'm a father myself, and I can't imagine. You don't even have to be a parent to be concerned about that. One of the great things about having a show that's as popular as ours is sometimes very important issues can be discussed.
Based on the burn pattern, the origin of the fire was definitely here. I detected an accelerant on the front of the car and on the ground, both consistent with gasoline.
Given the nature of the crime, the investigators had extra incentive to solve it. And behind the scenes, the show's creative team works equally hard to make the crime scenes look completely authentic. In last night's episode, you had to inspect this car that was torched, but in a very specific way. How do they do that?
What they did was they got rubber cement and put it in the areas of the car and lit it that they wanted to be lit. They removed the inside, gutted the inside of the car, charred it, and then put the inside back in to where the back seat was not charred, but the front was, because in the episode, this fire kind of leaped from the car to the home.
Hold out your hands, please. Turn them over.
The car wasn't the only thing with very realistic burns. The suspect himself had blisters on his hands and back.
Where do you work? At the feedlot off Highway 111.
It looks so real and blistery. How did they do that?
They really burned him. No.
You guys are mean here at CSI.
No, well, you know, exactly. It's well, it's the way they do it is they take Jell-O. What flavor? I don't know. Cherry would be my preference, but they take Jell-O actually, and they make Jell-O, you know, and then they put it in a microwave after it forms, and then they reduce it again so it becomes soft. Like soft little, and then they take those microwave Jellos, and place them strategically on the man's back. So it's really Jell-O.
I never want to eat Jell-O again after that story.
Don't eat Jell-O off anyone's back unless, you know, that's your thing.
Now, of course, you can see CSI every Thursday night right here on CBS, and you can get more CSI by tuning in to CSI Miami Monday nights at 10, 9 Central. Right now, Dave Price is out on the plaza with another check of the weather.